What up, guys, and welcome once again to my Team career mode on F1 2020. This is season 2. This is round 9. We are now at Canada. If you haven't seen the last one that I did in Baku, please go and check that out. Otherwise, sit back and I hope you enjoy. Hope you're all staying safe in the circumstances of the world and everything. It is a tough time to be alive in, but you know what? There is always hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Stay strong, everybody. I believe in all of you. Right, enough of that. We are here to do a race. And what we are doing right now is qualifying for said race. In my discount Campos looking arrows. We've had a surge of good form recently, so I'm hoping to continue that form. And I'm hoping to be near the front or at the front. And we are now in Q3, as you can see. We've made it through both parts of Q1 and Q2 quite comfortably. And I've got to be honest, I'm quite confident with my pace around here. Montreal is one of those tracks that just always seems to gel well with me. I enjoy driving around it. It's fun. I'm competitive. And yeah, it's one of my tracks. I very much enjoy it. And we are now coming up to complete the qualifying lap. Where are we going to start for the Canadian Grand Prix? It is P2. We get a front row start for the race. That is a good place to start. Where can we finish?
Hello. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Oldtimer completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Bottas, Sebastian Vettel, and Stroll, Verstappen, Sainz, Albon. They've taken a grid penalty, and Daniel Kvyat, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Pierre Gasly, and Hubert. Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Romain Grosjean, and George Russell, Perez, Norris, Magnussen, and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
We have a front row start here then. As we wait for the game to load, we have red lights. And when they all go out, we will be underway in Canada, which we are now. We have got a great start. Hamilton has got away a bit slowly, but his second phase down the inside there, protecting his lead. I'm having to try and duck around to see if there is any way past him. At this stage, there isn't, and it looks like we've probably got to defend a bit more from Leclerc, who has just gone full send up the inside there. Leclerc taking P2 from us. And if anything, we've got to defend even more because Bottas is coming at us. Not the most promising start, and we've gone very wide round there. I elect to go across the escape road, and I very nearly collect Leclerc in the process. But I go into Bottas, who then hits me. And as I'm coming across to try and not hit Stroll, I've gone straight into Vettel. That was just a disaster sequence from the moment I went wide. Bottas went into me. He lost momentum. Stroll then gained a hell of a lot of places. I then came across to try and not hit Stroll under the braking spot. Unaware that Vettel was there. And I took some significant front wing damage from that. So I have come into the pits to get it repaired. That was a little bit of my fault there. It all started when I went wide and nearly collected Leclerc. And Bottas having nowhere to go but into me there. And Stroll's the one that gained all the momentum from that though. He charged up to third. And then obviously I went under braking to try and not hit him. Not aware that Vettel was there and he just got squeezed into the barrier, which is highly unfortunate for him. But we are not going to waste time getting bogged down by that. We have still got 34 laps to do and a huge comeback to take part in. Right now then we are lining up the first victim, which is George Russell, who I'm surprised is still at the back, to be honest. I know that they haven't modified the order of the teams and where they are in this game just yet. So Williams I would have thought would have been a bit closer, but is what it is. We've got past George Russell then, and now we're catching up to Valtteri Bottas, who you remember went into us at the start, and he's got Perez, although he's got past Perez by the time we've catched Checo. But this is just going to be a standard move up the inside. No, Checo denies us that inside move. He just, well, he gave us space to try and make the lunge, but the gap was always going to close in on us. That was a gap that was never going to stay open for us. So now we've got to try and get right into his gearbox, right into that DRS zone we're in now. Get that slipstream, dive up the inside. That's very nearly contact there. But we've got the move done on Perez quite nicely there before the braking spot. And a little bit of a slide into the corner, but we have gained the position. Next up, again, is Bottas and Norris. But I half suspect Bottas will clear Norris by the time we get there. He's just tucked up behind him, so I think that will be a move that Valtteri completes very, very soon. In fact, he has completed it. And now we're at Norris, is at our mercy, and we've taken the inside move there. He's got a little bit of momentum on us on the outside, though. Norris still alongside. I am having to keep my foot in it. I'm going to make sure I give him space, unlike what I did to Vettel. And Norris has been passed. He fought a bit harder than some of the other cars had in this race, but, you know, it is what it is. We'll take it. Right now, we're now easing up to Bottas and Hubert, who is holding him up for us, our teammate, who has shown some quite promising performances this season. But now we're starting to get into championship fighting territory. I need you with me, Antoine. I need you helping me out here. Right, we're now up to P6 after some cars have elected to pit. And we are going to go quite long now before we make another pit stop, as we try to close down Bottas. But if anything, we've got more problems at the hands of Max Verstappen, who is behind us, who is taking a look up the inside of us and who has got the move done before the corner. Max getting that one done. I was trying to have a look around the outside, but if anything, I just went wide as a result. And Max, on those fresher, superior, medium tyres, just able to get such a jump on us. But we're going to have to now try and claw some of that time back. But Max is already gone. And now, well, now he's giving Valtteri Bottas some difficulty, isn't he? He's hovering at the rear of Bottas. Maybe he's going to get a way through before we can catch up to Bottas ourselves. But he's holding Verstappen back a bit. And now we've got Alex Albon having a look round my outside. Albon is not giving this one up easily. We're going to try and hang it into the inside. We run him out just a little bit wide. But Albon is going to now have that DRS. He's got that extra power. We defend him for all it's worth. But we're a sitting duck with these tyres because they are now starting to go off. Albon's gone to the left. He's tried to go through, but we've braked later, had the inside line, and not quite been the sitting duck we expected. Right, Albon coming for us again, only this time he has got the move done. No, he hasn't. What's he doing? He's still hovering alongside us there, and we gave him a little bit of room. We nearly had a collision, but we managed to avoid that one. I'm taking the dive down Albon now. That was definitely contact. And that was definitely a disgusting move down the inside. And once again, the benefactor from the mayhem I'm causing is Lance Stroll, who in his home race here looks like he's about to make an attacking move on me. But I'm thinking this might be close to the time to pit as I'm going to the left. And, well, we don't pit this time round, but we're now starting to develop a little bit of a mini train behind us, as these tyres are just not working with us anymore. So we've now had our second pit stop. It's dropped us down to 10th. We got Giovinazzi right in front of us, so the recovery is still on. We are still pushing hard to take what we can from this race. And we can have a look at Giovinazzi here. That's a very late dive, but we complete the move. I think we caught Giovinazzi napping just a little bit there, so, you know, it is what it is. I'll take that. And now we're once again chasing down Valtteri Bottas. Ocon has made a stop, so has Verstappen, and I think this is going to put us nicely into a decent position. We've just set the fastest lap here, so now I'm really pushing for it. Verstappen's just come out of the pits, and we've just given him a little love tap there. I think I was hoping that I could frighten Verstappen out the way just a little bit, but I should know better. You are not going to frighten Max Verstappen off the road that easily at all. as we now approach him, setting another fastest lap, just casually making a point to the Red Bull that we are coming through, whether you like it or not. You can either accept it or, I don't know, be salty about it, but it's happening one way or the other. That was a pretty poor analogy, if I'm honest, of what was happening. Right, we are now on to Max Verstappen. We're going to have a look up the inside of the first corner. We take the dive. That is P4. Next up is Leclerc and Bottas. They are our next victims. And we are up into P4 despite everything we've been through in this race. Although, admittedly, what we've been through is entirely self-inflicted. Right, we are now up to the back of Charles Leclerc for P3, and then it's Valtteri Bottas, who it feels like we've just been spending all race hunting down, but never quite getting past him. Now we're onto the rear of this little trio, us being the third in the trio. I don't know why I called it a trio, but we're going to have a look up the inside of Leclerc. Leclerc going very defensive, but we have got the inside line, and we have got the move done. Right, next up is Bottas and Magnussen just peeling out of the way, not wanting to be a part of this little scrap here, as we now funnel through the right-left, trying to gain time on Bottas. It's going to have to be on the straight. And you know what? I am enjoying the Mercedes engine in this Arrows, because it's giving us that much more power on the straights to be able to overtake these guys. We are really mixing it with the front regularly now, as we try and get closer and closer to Bottas, but he's defending and we've had to break him back out of it. That is some fair defending by Valtteri Bottas, but now we're right on his tail. Once again, heading into the first corner. Bottas taking the inside line. We're on the outside. Are we going to be able to hang it around the outside and then take the inside to the first corner? And we have done the move there. And Bottas losing out, losing momentum. He could come under threat from Charles Leclerc behind us. And in fact, I think Leclerc has got past him. And Bottas losing out as a result of that. We've got 4 laps to go now. Grosjean is out of the race with an engine problem. I don't see how that really affects things, to be honest. But it's happened. Grosjean peeling out the Ferrari engine in that Haas. Just not going any further. And then our teammate is out again. Antoine Hubert with an engine problem. And that is the end of his race. That is so unfortunate, because I think he was around the back end of the points. And now we're trying to get through this traffic. George Russell there not being quite as accommodating as I'd hoped. I was overtaking him earlier in this race. Now I'm lapping him as we've caught up to the back of Lewis Hamilton, which I believe was thanks to a safety car. And we're trying to get close to him now, but we're just not getting that close, unfortunately. In the closing laps, you can see that we've got Leclerc on my outside as we're on the last lap now. We're going to have to get the run on the straight. Leclerc coming across. He is not being very forgiving at all here. We're side by side on the last lap. This is for P2. Are we going to be able to just hold on to it? We brake late, and in fact we have just held on to P2. So despite everything that happened in that race, we managed to come back and take P2. What a comeback, but, you know, I'm still disappointed with myself for that one incident.
That's it then for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Well, I mean, the start of that race just... I hold my hands up and say that was completely my fault. I was trying to avoid hitting Stroll, but at the same time I should have really been paying attention to where Vettel was on my left, and as a result he was out of the race, and I ended up somehow managing to recover to P2, so you know what, I can't really feel too hard done by that. We get an extra point for fastest lap as well. Lewis Hamilton then taking the win, and Leclerc getting third, and Stroll, who gained that incredible momentum on that one, finishing nicely inside the top 6 there. Stroll doing a great job in that race. And the standings then, we are 2 points off the lead now, with Max Verstappen there. We are just about in second, and Bottas is 3 points off it. Hamilton 6 points off of it. What a close championship this is turning out to be. Well, I'm going to leave you with the highlights reel as always. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next episode of Career Mode. I am hoping to be more consistent with them, but I keep saying that and it never happens. But who knows? Maybe I'm capable of personal growth. See you soon.